This is Engage New York, Module 2, Lesson 25. Read the objective out loud while I read it. I can use basic facts to approximate decimal quotients with two-digit divisors, reasoning about the placement of the decimal point. So knowing, going back to what we've learned so far about that placement of the decimal point, if you have two numbers behind the decimal point in the quotient, you're going to have in your division problem, then in your quotient, you're going to have two numbers behind the decimal in the quotient. So knowing that they have to match and knowing why. So let's go ahead and start with our fluency practice. Rename tens and hundreds. So going back to probably module, I can't remember now, module 1, going back to renaming 10 tenths is equal to what as a decimal. Then divide decimals by 10. I think you're getting the hang of that quite nicely. No, I think this is just a review of earlier lessons that we've done in module 2. Then we have divide decimals by multiples of 10. Going through, how do these change? Because remember, these numbers are quite similar. So how do they change? Just based on the place value. Application problem is Miss Hines spent $12 on 30 bus tokens for the field trip. What was the cost of 12 bus tokens? So CGI, dividing things up equally, showing me your thinking. Can you describe? Can you draw it and solve it? Not just give me an answer, but show me how you got there. All right, try that out and come back for a debrief. Okay, so now hopefully you have completed and you're now ready for a debrief. So renaming tenths and hundreds takes us back to lesson 23. All right, so 10 tenths is 1.0, 94 tenths, 9.4, 700 tenths, 70, 372 tenths is 37.2, because you have to have that tenths, right? 10 hundredths is 0.1. And you have 1,000 hundredths is 10. 7,418 hundredths is 74.18, because you have to have something in the hundreds, right? 90 tenths is 9. 100 tenths is 10. 783 tenths is 78.3. 9 hundredths is 9 hundredths. 90 hundredths is 90 hundredths. 7,000 hundredths is 70, and you have those zeros in the hundreds. 4,835 hundredths is 48.35. Then divide decimals by 10. And just looking to see how that placement of the decimal and how it affects when you divide by 10 and how it affects the decimal. So right here, I was simply able to cross off my zeros and get 380. Then when I divided 38 by 10, I had to make sure to move using my arrows. I reminded myself to move my decimal forward one time, moving my number back one time. 380 divided by 10, 38. 3.8 divided by 10 is 0.38. 270 divided by 10 is 27. 2,700 divided by 10 is 270. 2.7 divided by 10 is 0.27. And 27 divided by 10 is 2.7. Then 4,900 divided by 10 is 490. 49 divided by 10 is 4.9. 0.49 divided by 10 is 0.049. And 490 divided by 10 is 49. All right, moving to the back side. And this divide decimals by multiples of 10 is a review of lesson 24. 12 tenths divided by 4 is 3 tenths. So 12 tenths divided by 40 is 1.2 divided by 10 divided by 4 is 0.03. And I did that again over here. 1.2 divided by 10 divided by 4 is 0.03. 2.4 divided by 2 is 24 tenths divided by 2 is 1.2. You have to have one number in the tenths. 2.4 divided by 20 is 24 tenths divided by 20 is 24 tenths divided by 2 divided by 10 is 0.12. 8 divided by 20 is 8 divided by 2 divided by 10. 4 divided by 10 is 0.4. And then 0.35 divided by 5 is 35 hundredths divided by 5 gives you 7 hundredths is 0.07. Lastly, our application problem. So Ms. Hyatt spent $12 on 30 bus tokens for the field trip. What was the cost of 12 of those tokens? So first you have to find out the cost of one token and then multiply that. So $12 divided by 30, and I broke it up this way and got $4. I got 40 cents. Then I came over here and I did this problem two different ways. I did it in an algebraic way and using standard algorithm. 1 unit is equal to 40 cents. Now I have to find out how many 12. So I'm going to multiply that 1 unit by 12. What I do to one side, I do to the other. 12 units is equal to $4.80. Or you could use standard algorithm 0.40 times 12 and you get $4.80. But you know what? That's just not the answer. This is the answer. The cost of 12 tokens was $4.80. Remember, you need to explain the answer, not just simply give a number. All right, that'll do it for fluency. Now meet me back here for concept development.